I recently reviewed an episode of The Diary of a CEO where the guest, Ben Felix, argued that buying a home was not actually the best way to build wealth. Their argument was that rent instead, and then invest your money in an index fund or the stock market. And honestly, some of his points made sense, but then I watched another episode from the same podcast where the financial expert David Bach, and he completely pushed back on that idea. He argued that for average Americans, homeownership is still one of the biggest tools for building long-term wealth. And honestly, this is a conversation people need to hear because most people are choosing between renting and spending everything or buying something and slowly building equity over time. And that's a huge difference. David Bach made a point that really stood out to me. If you rent through your 20s, and then you rent through your 30s, and then you rent through your 40s, or like you could wake up in the 40s and realize you spent all of your money and you have built nothing and have zero net worth. Meanwhile, if you're a homeowner, you've been paying down principal, building equity, benefiting from appreciation, and creating long-term financial stability. Now, does that mean that buying is always a better option? No, there's absolutely situations where renting makes sense. If you want career flexibility, if you're moving often, not financially ready, have high debt, or you have unstable income. But what I appreciate about this conversation is that it challenged the idea that home ownership is somehow a bad investment. Because historically, for average families, real estate has been one of the biggest ways they've been able to create generational wealth. And the reality is most people do not consistently invest the difference between what they rent and a mortgage payment. They spend it. And that's the uncomfortable truth. So here are 5 questions I want everybody to ask themselves if they want to put them in this position to be able to buy a house someday. So number 1, what is actually stopping me from buying right now? 2, am I building my future or am I building somebody else's equity? 3, what financial habits could I improve over the next 12 months to get me there? 4, do I really understand my home ownership options? And 5, where do I want to be financially in 10 years from right now? So listen, this isn't about pressure. Not everybody should buy today or maybe ever, but everybody should understand how real estate impacts your long-term wealth. At Kansas City Legacy Properties, we believe in educating first so people can make smart decisions about their future. So if you are interested in buying a house or want to see what it would take to get you into a house, I'd love to talk with you. Or if you just want to learn more about how you could get into a house someday, or maybe even get into rental properties someday, just follow for more real estate and financial education content.